Have you ever tried to have a serious conversation and, halfway, realized that no one was understanding absolutely nothing? So it is. This is the first major challenge of assertive communication, the lack of clarity. And it's no use blaming each other for not understanding, because the problem, most of the time, is who you are talking about. We often think we are being clear, but we use those vague words, full of more or less, maybe, who knows, and the result? The other person looks like a landscape, not knowing what to do with that information. Being clear is essential for assertive communication. Imagine you are asking someone to do a task, and you say, can you see it there for me later, if you give time? You think you were polite, but what the other person heard was, you can ignore it until it's too late. Clarity is not just saying what you want. It is to say so that the other person understands exactly what you expect. It's that old saying, what is obvious to you is not obvious to the other. So the next time you go to a message or ask for something, forget the if you give, and be straightforward. You don't have to be rude, but be clear. Who receives? Thanks. Now the second challenge, this one is a classic. Emotional control. Who has never entered a discussion with a hot head and said things he regretted soon after? Yeah, we are human, and our emotions often speak louder than reason. But assertive communication requires exactly the opposite. Balance. Speak calmly, firmly, but without aggressiveness. Easy, right? Only not. Let's agree that in stressful situations, controlling the tone of voice is almost a superpower. The person stepped on his callus, and all you want is to dump that sharp answer. But do you know what happens when you lose emotional control? Your words lose your strength. No one listens to the content. They hear the tone of anger, and that's the assertive communication was the drain. The secret here is simple but challenging. Take a deep breath before speaking. Yes, that basic breath. He can prevent you from saying something that will regret later. Breathe and only then, talk. And we come to our third great challenge, the lack of active listening. And I ask you, do you really listen or just wait for your turn to speak? Most of us are so concerned about having the last word that you don't even realize what the other is trying to say. It's like that verbal tennis game, where no one is playing to win the point, but to see who rebut the ball fastest. The truth is that without listening to each other, communication will never be assertive. Have you ever tried to talk to someone who interrupts you in the middle of each sentence? There is nothing more annoying. Active listening is to be present in the conversation. Pay attention to what is being said, and answer based on what you heard, not what you think you heard. And let's combine, if you do that, it's already on the right track to communicate better than 90% of people.